Hey Aquarius, hope you're doing well. Hope you can hear me. Hope the audio is okay. I'm switching things up a little bit today. It kind of goes along with like the message, really. I tried recording a video for you like 4 or 5 days ago. I actually did record the whole thing. And then after the fact, I realized there was like a time lag with the audio. So just audio difficulties, of course. Um, but what I ended up talking about with that last reading, um, that day ended up being like a really triggering day. It kind of was eye-opening in ways. Um, and really, with your message, it was about like making changes, like you wanting to make some kind of change in your life, and how sometimes the best change we can make is the small changes, and sometimes they end up being way bigger than we initially realize. And it's better to consistently make small changes than it is to try taking on all the change at once. Like just doing too much, it becomes overwhelming. And that's kind of what I was dealing with doing these videos. I kind of had this really high standard for myself, which I feel like kind of goes along with like my people pleasing tendencies like from the past and stuff of just trying to take on more than I can really do realistically. I work two full-time jobs right now, so I don't have much time or energy to do much. So my original goal of doing sign-specific readings in between each new moon reading is totally achievable when I'm not working this much, but when I'm working this much, it's kind of just a lot to ask because life can throw curveballs a lot, and it's not always going to be super easy to get the things done that we want to do, especially when you deal with mental health struggles, being neurodivergent, or just dealing with any kind of like depression or whatever it is, can make things difficult. So, and then yeah, the reason I'm in my car today is just because kind of goes along with what I was struggling with before, procrastinating because of being overwhelmed by having this like overwhelming amount of videos I wanted to get done within a certain amount of time, which just kind of put me in a fight or flight state. So I had the place to myself for the last few weeks. I had more than enough time to do them, or I had the space and stuff to do it, the opportunity. But I was just so overwhelmed. Um, so the house is full again, which is fine. But I just needed to kind of step out, and this is like a personal thing. I know like this is kind of something I've realized too recently was how important it is for me to feel heard. Um, but in like the way that I want to, like I want to be more understood than anything. Um, It's almost like ironic because like I don't like being perceived sometimes, and I think that comes from like my negative self-talk of just, we can be our own worst critics a lot of the times, and I think I can have a lot of negative criticisms about myself of what I think other people are thinking about me, and it's something I'm working on, but yeah, something for me is definitely the need to feel heard and understood, yet struggling to want to be perceived. So that's kind of why I'm trying to do this as well, is to get myself out of my comfort zone. But I just needed to get out and be in my own space today. So to do this reading, I've been wanting to get it done. I tend to struggle with the Aquarius readings for some reason. Um, won't really get into, but at this moment, but just outside energies can be hard to keep out of the reading sometimes, but I think that's okay actually. So yeah, we're just gonna get right into it. Before I got here, I brought along some Oracle cards in my new card deck, which I gotta thank my roommate for getting me. It's pretty sick. It's from Salem, Massachusetts, Witch City, or Witch Town. It's a deck box for my tarot cards. But when I was pulling some Oracle cards to bring along, the one that came along was Make a Meal, um, for like the self-care Oracle. So that could be something that you could do for self-care. I know when I get back home, I'm planning on making curry for the week. Vegan curry. Came out really well last time. Use like coconut milk and stuff. It's actually really good. But so yeah, that could be a self-care practice for you. But let's just get right into where you are currently at. This is going to be an energy check-in just to see what's going on with you, Aquarius. So it looks like there's some kind of outside thing that you are really deciding between. You got the two of Pentacles for your outside influence. So there could be something outside of yourself that you are just really trying to make a decision about. You're kind of juggling the pros and cons of each side. It looks like you're really stepping into your power currently, and you are walking away from emotional situations that are no longer serving you, or no longer for your highest good. You have the Eight of Cups in the past energy. So that's like walking away from something that is emotionally fulfilling to an extent, but there's still a piece missing. Right. Like in this picture, you have the one spot where there's like almost like a hole in your heart, how I would describe it. So you're kind of walking away to find a situation that will fill that, or new opportunity. But then you have the King of Wands in your current energy. Um, which is just all about stepping into your power and authority and living your passion. And then I think in your mind space, you're being really vigilant about. I feel like this could have to do with the like negative self-talk in a way. Maybe you're just kind of being overly hard on yourself. This came up in the last reading I did, the Page of Swords in the Libra reading. So that could be something for you to check out as well. Um, so yeah, I think you're just kind of being really vigilant in your mind space, but in your heart space, you have the sun, which is all around positivity. I think you have a lot of hope for the future and in your heart space and for your emotional connections in the future. I think you have a lot of hope and you can see the bright side of things, even though things may look dark from the past. You can see the bright side in your heart space and know that there is a bright side and that things will turn around. And then in your future space, you got the Queen of Cups. So I think you're really going to be stepping into that kind of nurturing, forgiving, understanding aspects of your relationships going forward. So there could be a certain relationship you are fixated on, with her looking really intently at that cup. Um, could just be something you're really passionate about, especially with that King of Wands energy and your current energy. Um, I think you're gonna probably spend a lot of just time and mental energy into making this fulfilling relationship come fruition. Um, so I wanted to ask Spirit if there's any clarity that it can give us about what changes you are trying to make. If there's a specific change or a topic of changes that you're trying to make. So I think whatever it is, it's something you're passionate about and you're trying to get to like your finish line. This can be like a celebration card, it could be like a marriage card, kind of like the happily ever after that kind of goes along with like the Ten of Cups as well. That's really what I'm picking up for this. I think you're just trying to make changes in like your personal like development in yourself and in the world around you, which really we change the world by changing ourselves. Like that Michael Jackson song, that's what comes to mind. Um, but yeah, I think you're making changes in order to get to this finish line, whatever that may mean for you. Um, all right, and then I'm just gonna pull one more self-care card, just because I feel like it. See if there's any other self-care practice that you can incorporate going forward. So connecting with fire, I haven't pulled this card actually. I feel like it makes sense for this reading though, because it could be connecting with your passion, like whatever it is that makes you passionate. You could be literally sitting around a campfire with friends, um, like in the picture. Um, this could also be symbolic for what is going to give you that kind of easy, free feeling. And then I'm just looking at the sunset on this. It's like almost like rainbow colors, but a little bit different. Um, Not quite the rainbow, but that could be symbolic too of just maybe stepping into your heart chakra. That's kind of at the top, along with the third eye and throat chakra. So living with intention. Also, what comes to mind with that cooking card as well, maybe you could cook on the stove top versus using a microwave. I stopped using microwaves like a long time ago, at least over this last year. I feel like it has been helpful, but it's just an idea that came to mind. But yeah, it's getting dark. You can kind of see the sunset behind me. It's actually kind of pretty. Um, but I'm at the park. Yeah, maybe that could be something for you too, is to get out and just enjoy life. I think stepping out of your comfort zone can be good. Um, I know there's people walking around the park right now, but I live in the city, so it's like impossible to get away from people completely, which is fine. Um, like I said, I'm trying to get over my fear of like being perceived in ways that I don't want to be. I think a lot of the times people aren't actually thinking those negative things that we kind of can put on ourselves. So yeah, it's kind of a lot different from the last reading, but I feel like that probably happened for a reason. So yeah, with that, I will see you next time, Aquarius. The next reading I do for you is going to be for 3 months out. That's what I'm doing for everyone for the next reading. And then also just to kind of reaffirm this, I will be doing new moon readings for each new moon, but as life happens, I'm not gonna always be able to stick to the sign-specific readings in between each new moon reading. So I might be a little slower with that, but I will go through each sign before doing it over again. So it just might not always be within those 28 days, but I will get through them. And I think it's better to take your time with these kind of things. Um, I hope you can hear me. I hope the audio came out all right. If not, then it is what it is. But yeah. So, love you guys. Till next time, take care.